Hello and good afternoon, everyone, or as we say it here in Iloilo City, maayong hapon sa inyo tanan. Welcome to the Regional Spotlight Iloilo, Deep Tech and E-commerce Startups for Digital Inclusion, an official collaboration event under the Philippine Startup Week 2021 and hosted by Kwadra TBI, an approved tech business incubator of the Iloilo Science and Technology University. This year's theme is Beyond Recovery Filipino Startups Redefining Opportunity. And last year, we all know how the pandemic affected the economy massively. And in order for our city to bounce back, digitization is no longer an option but a must. Which is why today's panel discussion aims to start a conversation and ignite collaboration among public private partners, local businesses, and the Iloilo startup community on what it takes to enable Iloilo's digital economy through e commerce and deep technology. I am Kim Isabel Dignadice, a proud Ilongga from Iloilo City, and I will be your host for this event. Later on, we will also be joined by our interesting set of panelists who will enlighten us about the potential of digital inclusion and e commerce to pave the way for the economic recovery and sustained growth of our local businesses and startups. We will also get to know some of the up and rising members of the Iloilo startup community that we can all watch out for. So, to officially open this event, may I call on Dr. Raul Muyong, President of Iloilo Science and Technology University, for the opening remarks.
Our panelists, the different public and private partners, Ms. Rebecca Rascon, Director, Department of Trade and Industry Regional Office 6, Mr. Terence Aigonco, Chairperson of IADL, JQ Quesada, Integra Philippines, Ms. Sencha Pavia of GCash, Yed Dolia, Live at Nest Philippines, Dr. Carmelo Ambut, the Vice President for Research and Extension, Mr. Raymond T. Galmucho, General Manager of Isatyu Kwadra TBI, Dr. Carlos Sira, Project Leader, Isatyu Kwadra TBI, the Iloilo Startup Community, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good day to everyone. Today's online panel discussion entitled Regional Spotlight, Iloilo Deep Tech and E-Commerce Startups for Digital Inclusion on Digital Economy is indeed timely. It is organized in a time when we are finding ways, both globally and locally, to respond effectively to the developmental challenges caused by the pandemic's impact on the economy, specifically on business. Despite the current pandemic and economic conditions, it is encouraging that digital technologies like computers and smartphones have become a critical enabler of connectivity. They have helped in the continuity of our normal lives and in connecting with people more than ever before. As substitute tools to people's in-person activities, they have led to an increased e-commerce opportunities from telework, telemedicine, food delivery and logistics, online and contactless payments, remote learning, and entertainment. It is also encouraging that the partnership of the public and private sectors has helped transform the constraints and opportunities into sources of development and prosperity. The partnership of both public and private sectors has greatly helped address societal problems such as the pandemic. The partnership has helped Iloilo Science and Technology University reap the benefits of receiving funding and grants from local, national, and international agencies and organizations in the implementation of our research programs. As a science and technology university, it pursues timely, socially responsible, and transcending research. ESATU Catalysis, pioneering research by engaging a broad spectrum of school faculty, drawing researchers from outside, attracting the most talented researchers, and focusing attention and resources on the most important science and technology challenges of our times. With the support of partners and able researchers, the DOST funded Isatyu Kwadra Technology Business Incubator TBI was established. It is a development preparatory program for higher education institutions to implement, build, and run technology business incubator. Through Kwadra TBI, ISATU will be able to share its expertise in science, engineering, and technology and help create and optimize prospects for would-be technology entrepreneurs and startup facility. Hence, the Philippine Startup Week event organized by ISATU Kwadra TBI, which is the panel discussion. I hope that through this activity, our Iloilo community startups will learn from the best practices and shared experiences of our panelists. Our tech entrepreneurs will be empowered and provided with the opportunity to help job creators and significant contributors to economic development. Of course, help address the unemployment problems of our country and Iloilo as a result of COVID-19 pandemic through job creation and generation, development of entrepreneurs, and promotion of public-private partnership for development. With that, I wish all of us most successful and impactful panel discussion for a truly successful e-commerce and digital economy. Thank you, and let us keep safe always.
Thank you for your opening remarks, Dr. Muyong. This event would not be possible without ISATU Kwadra TBI. To know more about our host for this afternoon session, please direct your attention to the screen to watch this video.
Innovative ideas for sustainable development are a pivoting factor in creating jobs, developing technopreneurs, and promoting public-private partnerships in our community. The Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, recognizes that modern problems require modern solutions. Technology Business Incubation Program, or TBI program, aims to promote innovation and technopreneurship for socio-economic development and a knowledge-based global economy. The TBI program helps technology-based startup businesses by providing resources, services, and facilities needed during the development stage. It acts as an ecosystem where innovations are supported through an incubation period geared towards commercialization. Different TBIs across the country conducts incubation programs for the different startups with the aim of producing viable businesses capable of competing in the global market. In the Philippines, there are over 45 TBI facilities and services that have nurtured more than 280 startups and produced more than 70 full-blown startup companies. It created over 800 jobs and generated over 100 million pesos in private and public investments with 60 million pesos of startup revenues. In the region, the DOST TBI program aims to create jobs, develop technology-driven innovation, and foster regional public-private partnership with a significant contribution to the regional economic development. ISATU Kwadra TBI, being the technology business incubator of Iloilo Science and Technology University, provides business support to creative science and technology entrepreneurs in an innovative environment with a futuristic, nurturing, and inspiring team. ISATU Kwadra TBI focuses on entrepreneurs using instructional deep technologies such as artificial intelligence, robotics, blockchain, advanced material science, data science, and biotechnology, among others. It offers innovative solutions to some of the most pressing challenges in the Philippines and in the region. ISATU Kwadra TBI incubates two types of incubatees: startups and spin-off. Startups are any person or entity registered in the Philippines which aims to develop innovative product, process, or business model. Furthermore, it refers to a venture that is initiated by its founders around an idea or a problem with a potential for significant business opportunity and impact. Often, the actual development starts even before the search for an idea or a meaningful problem worth solving arises, while building a committed founding team aligned with a shared vision to make that vision into a reality. While spin-off refers to a company that has an equity investment from the university. Companies that license technology from a public research university. They can choose to be a bukot, an in-house incubatee, or layao, a virtual incubatee, with a maximum of 5-year stay in ESATU Kwadra TBI. Researches offered by ESATU Kwadra TBI include venture building, business support, technopreneurship and innovation training, co-working, and office spaces. In our efforts to grow more startups and spin-off continue, we look towards the future with optimism and excitement as we strengthen and build our communities through innovation.
And that was our introductory video to this event's host, which is Isatyu Kwadra. And one of the objectives of this event is, like I said earlier, to start a conversation with public and private partners and the Iloilo startup community through a panel discussion, which we will now start. So, to give us a short situationer on the state of Iloilo's local businesses, let us welcome Mr. Terence Oigonco, Chairperson of Iloilo Economic Development Foundation. Hello and welcome, Mr. Terence Oigonco.
Hi, good afternoon, Kim, and thank you for uh, inviting me to your event. First of all, ILED. What is ILED? ILED is a private-public sector partnership founded in 2007. It carries with it a long-term vision of making Iloilo a highly preferred investment destination. So we did this with partnering with the LGU, the province, and the city, as well as the different business groups, organizations that are mostly from Iloilo. Situation in the city and province is that, as we all know, everybody is suffering, from this pandemic, and especially the small and medium enterprises. But in every crisis, there's an opportunity, and some are making this an opportunity for them to earn and be in some kind of small and backyard businesses. No? And this will come, and with this comes digitalization, which is a platform where everybody should be on right now, especially that we cannot really go around and go out because of the pandemic. The adoption of fintech has also accelerated because of this pandemic, and slowly, a majority of the businesses in the city and province are slowly having this e-wallet, GCash, Paymaya, even the remittance services in the countryside are and can be now accessed through fintech. And but some businesses are not really that good in adoption, and we hope that with proper seminar and forums, we can help them be as digital as possible. We can sometimes see that if we want to, on a personal experience, if we sometimes want to buy something and even the menus or the numbers are not being accessed, it pains me that it doesn't really take 10, 15 minutes to update their numbers or the way they set up their menu, no? And I hope that the adoption of this digital world in terms of doing business will be something that all MSMEs and people in the city and the province can adopt and be up to date.
So thank you, Sir Francis, for Sir Terence, for giving us your take on the state of Iloilo's local businesses at this time. Sir Terence, may I ask you, since you're also an Ilonggo businessman, what do you think are the top three challenges that local businesses or entrepreneurs face in adopting these tech innovations?
I think there are still, if you look at the demographics in a country as a whole, the baby boomers are maybe our parents are not that uh, uh, they do not have really the trust to go all out in terms of adapting uh, the digital way of doing business. No? But on the Gen X and the younger generation, this is very, very much used. No, they are used to doing this. They are at ease in using this, and this is an opportunity for us because majority of our population is into these demographics where there's an opportunity for this for us to go digital and at the same time lowers the cost of doing business for the retailers and businesses.
Thank you, Sir Terence. We have, well, considering the hesitation no, of some local businesses in adopting these tech innovations or the older generations, as you mentioned earlier, sir, the baby boomers, kumbaga, how do you think should innovation companies reach out or what can they do to reach out to these businesses?
For me, I think experience is key. No, if these demographics that do not trust the system would would find it easier for them later on. I think it will make them embrace it. Just like before, no, our experience is that during the time when the shift from dumb phone to smartphone, these baby boomers do not really want to shift because for them it's hard. They do not need internet. But after discovering social media apps, they can now panic when internet is down. So I think it's more on them getting to know these apps or ways on how to make things easier. No? For me, social media made things easier for them to connect. So with digital platforms, it will now be easier for them to transact online. So if this can be made easy for them, then I don't think that it is something that is hard for them to embrace.
Yes, thank you, Sir Terence. You've mentioned the importance or the impact of the rising social media craze nowadays. So yes, it is a big factor no, in the digitization of the different businesses and reaching different kinds of consumers. So thank you very much, Mr. Terence Oigonco, for joining us today, sir.
Thank you.
The pandemic has compelled a lot of our local businesses to go digital, and one of these opportunities that we have seen is the availability of online payment gateways and other fintech innovations. These makes our online shopping, purchases, and other online transactions possible. And in fact, we have one Filipino venture that has just reached a double unicorn status just a few days ago. We should all be proud to have a Filipino innovation reach this milestone of being valued at over $2 billion. And plus, this success story is surely a great motivation for our local businesses and startups. And this afternoon, we are very much honored to have with us Miss Kathleen Pavia, Assistant Vice President for Enterprise Partnerships and FSI Sector of Mint, the double unicorn company behind the payment app we are very familiar with, GCash. Hello, welcome, and good afternoon, Miss Kathleen Pavia.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here. So, it has been said many times in terms of how the pandemic has really forced everyone from the government to the businesses to even individuals to really adopt digital transactions. And Gcash has been at the forefront of this new normal. Allow me to share my screen. Okay. So, since the past year, GCash has been one of the key partners of the public sector in distributing financial assistance, especially the ayuda, to various beneficiaries. So in the past year, we were able to disburse 16 billion pesos to about 2 million Filipinos. And this year, with this, another tranche of the ayuda, we were able to disburse about 700 million pesos to about 400,000 Filipinos. And we continue to support the government in all its efforts, whether it's on the disbursement or in the digitalization in their collection or payments. GCash has also been a platform for digital bayanihan, whether it's in COVID relief efforts or calamity relief efforts. Through our QR payments or even just send money or pay bills transactions within the app, Filipinos can donate through different causes and to donate to different organizations to help our fellow Filipinos. Beyond this bayanihan, GCash has been used as well as a livelihood tool for a lot of social sellers or merchants or even your micro and small businesses. So GCash has been used for receiving payments, whether via the QR or the send money or P2P. Your sari-sari stores have been informal cash in, cash out partners, and even remittance or mini bayad centers in their communities. Beyond this, through our partnership with Singlife, providing micro insurance as low as 39 pesos helps cover and helps protect our Filipinos from unexpected expenses when it comes to medical bills, especially related to dengue and COVID. And these are just few of the reasons on why GCash has consistently been the number one financial app. And generally, even among the free apps that you'll see in either the Google Play Store and even in the Apple Store, we are around, I think today we are top six or top five in those free apps, alongside the likes of TikTok or even Zoom. So it really shows the relevance of GCash in the everyday lives of Filipinos. And we make it easy and accessible for Filipinos to open an account just by accessing the app. So the creation and even the full verification of the account can be done easily through a mobile phone. And with the various means in terms of putting money inside the wallet, whether that's online via bank transfers or through offline channels such as our partner outlets, we make everyday transactions easier. Whether that's buying load or paying your utility bills, doing your supermarket transactions via QR, and even doing your online shopping to stay safe and to stay at home. So that is how we are making the everyday lives of Filipino more efficient and more accessible. But beyond these everyday transactions, we also want financial services to be within the reach of Filipinos. And that's by providing, for example, G Credit. So GCash has its own credit scoring facility. So as you use your GCash more and more, you also develop your credit score. And with this, eventually you'll be able to have access to a credit line and even eventually loans. So I'll be discussing this further later on. So outside of credit, there's also savings, investment, and again, insurance that you can avail easily within the GCash app. But how can institutions, whether that's small or medium-sized businesses, also take advantage of these GCash features as an institution? So in GCash, we have these pillars for the development of a digital ecosystem or to push for digital financial inclusion. So our main solutions are really more on the disbursement and payment side. And on the payment side, it's really the type of solution that will be applicable to businesses will depend in terms of their format or how they facilitate business. So for disbursement, this can mean, again, the disbursement of financial assistance, loans, benefits, or even allowances of the government, or employee salaries, incentives, and loans for businesses. Payments, on the other hand, can be your contributions, loans, tax, other government fees, purchases from businesses, rent, loans, and even purchase of supplies. Going beyond your formal businesses, we're also now targeting grassroots level. That's why you may have seen in certain public markets or even todas and even down to the sari-sari stores. We're really formalizing, providing QR payment services in these institutions and even making sari-sari stores our formal cash in and cash out partners nationwide. So to discuss further in terms of our disbursement solution, so you might I put here registration and disbursement because we do have a platform, two types of platform rather. One is PowerPay Plus, which is intended for employee disbursements, and another one which is called fund disbursements. So the only difference, so they're both web-based platform or online platforms. That's why it's very easy to access. The only difference is to whom you'd be disbursing to. So PowerPay Plus again is intended for employees, and through the PowerPay Plus platform, you can actually help enroll your employees to become GCash users as well. And why this is critical is because maybe for some Filipinos or your employees rather, the type of valid ID that they may have may not be accepted as of today inside the GCash app. If you've noticed, the acceptable IDs in the GCash app are the standardized ones. This would be your driver's license, your SSS IDs, your passports, as an example. But we know for a fact that a majority of Filipinos have other types, if ever, of valid IDs, such as a barangay certificate. So since these are BSP accepted valid IDs, so the PowerPay Plus platform allows the uploading of these alternative valid IDs to be able to create and fully verify account for your employees. And then once those accounts are created through this online platform, you can efficiently and quickly disburse funds to your employees and at the same time to your customers or even members. And they will receive real-time notification every time you disburse to them. By doing this, you are making digital transactions more accessible to them with easy funds flowing in through their GCash accounts on a regular, if not monthly basis. For payments, we have three types, and how each one can be applied to your business depends on how you would like to facilitate the payments. So PayQR is our quickest to implement type of payment solution, and this may be the most popular as you may have seen it within the likes of Pure Gold, SM, Robinsons. So these static QRs can be uh, delivered to businesses as quick as 7 days. So it's quick to deploy. There are just some limitations in terms of the service, in terms of gathering data. For example, if you might need the name and some details of the payer, so PQR is not able to collect this. However, since PQR is ideal for face-to-face type of transactions or in-branch transactions, the face-to-face interaction can already facilitate the gathering of other data that may be necessary for your business. For pay bills, that way, in terms of the consumer will be able to transact or facilitate the payment is through the GCash app. So this is ideal for companies that collect payments with minimal details required or minimal interaction required. So if you've seen our billers inside the app, like water utility billers, electric utility billers, so those fields that you see inside the GCash app are customizable. So those fields can be defined and identified by your company in terms of depending on the details that you would like to be able to collect from your customers or from your members. Lastly is pay online. So if you have a website or an app that you're either developing or already existing and you would like to facilitate GCash payment acceptance in these online platforms. So we also have that direct payment solution that will enable your users to just input their mobile numbers to facilitate payments in your company or in your institution. So how we also position all of this. So for pay bills, what it's nice because you already leverage on the existing GCash app. So if your customers are already GCash users, so they can easily facilitate the payment or do the transaction. But I guess the limitation of pay bills is that it's not the look and feel of the biller feature is not really customized on a per merchant versus a pay online wherein the interaction is really with your brand, with your website, with your app. So it provides more stickiness in that sense, but at the same time still providing convenience in payment transactions via GCash. So another thing that's related to payments, but it's really a new feature within the GCash app is GLife. So you might have noticed this icon on the lower left for GLife. So what GLife is really a platform for merchants or for institutions to have a microsite or a mini app within the GCash app. So what's good about this is that since because of the 48 million user base of GCash, you can already leverage on that user base to promote your business and to tap, to sell, to inform that user base about your services or your products. And we also highlight on how you can maintain your brand or identity. Because if you are a mini app or a merchant inside G Life, you can definitely customize the look and feel and the user experience that you want your customers to have within the Gcash app without really leaving the Gcash app itself. So this minimizes the need for your customers to download again a different app, and in your on your side, the burden or the challenge in terms of promoting and educating people to download and to create awareness in general about your app or your website. And if there are payments again involved, it becomes a seamless one-click checkout, since outside of awareness, they can also facilitate the purchase and payment within the GCash app. So outside of again just payments and disbursements, we also want to promote the GCash platform for MSMEs or for small businesses on how they can grow and even further develop their businesses. So I mentioned earlier G loan. So you might be more familiar with G credit. So initially G credit was meant for like a credit line that you can use in case you don't have money inside your GCash wallet. You can use that credit line to pay bills or to even pay online. But with G Loan, it's the closest and the most accessible solution that Filipinos can have in terms of availing of a loan within the GCash app. So up to 25,000 pesos, and for an interest rate as low as 2 to 4% per month. Uh, Filipinos, MSMEs, or small businesses can have access to G Loan. And again, this is dependent on the credit score that they have within the GCash app. That's why from the daily transactions that they do, they are also developing their G score that will eventually enable them to avail of not just G credit but also of G loan. And then, of course, whatever they earn from their businesses, they can put that money or a portion of that money rather to either G Save or G Invest. So G Save is in partnership with CIMB Bank. So GCash in itself is not licensed to earn interest within the wallet, but through our partnership with CIMB Bank, our users or GCash users can also open and manage their GCash account easily inside their using their mobile phone. And RG Save account, it has one of the highest interest rate per annum at 2.6%. So this is definitely competitive, very much competitive versus the interest rates available in the market. And for G-Invest, so if they want to further diversify where they put their earnings or their income, so G-Invest can definitely be an option. So this investment portfolios that we have is in partnership with Atram, and they have both local and global companies that they can choose from to further invest and grow their money. And they can start as low as 50 pesos. And again, they can manage the funds, deposit or purchase or redeem rather their investments all through the GCash app. So it's quick, it's efficient, and definitely it helps businesses help grow their not just their businesses but even their financial wellness. So that's it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kathleen, for giving us that really in-depth view about the GCash app. Ms. Kathleen, we so you've recently become part of a double unicorn fintech company. So what message can you give to our Filipino innovators?
I think you can never go wrong as you if you look into the customer experience. I mean, this may be a cliche, but it's really I guess, the foundation of everything. You look into what's lacking, what's the challenge in the market, in addressing that with a solution that can help uplift the experience of customers. So in our case, our vision has always been financial inclusion right from the start. We want financial access to be within the reach of Filipinos through technology, and in this case, it's through a mobile app. So, and we found that purpose, knowing that a significant base or a significant percentage of Filipinos, I think based from the last statistics, there's still about two-thirds, close to two-thirds of Filipinos remaining to be unbanked. So that would mean primarily cash. I guess it's also because with the cash transactions that we have, so they are also not able to avail of affordable credit. So those type of gaps or challenges that we see in the market. So I guess that's how we're also trying to develop further our services, looking into other enhancements or even new services that we can bring in inside the GCash app.
Thank you, Miss Kathleen. You actually answered the next question that I was going to ask for you. So, uh, give looking into customer experience, and I was going to ask how these payment gateways address the digital gap and the importance of technology for digital or financial inclusion. So, in your perspective, you look into the customer experience and to really get a grasp on how you can improve your products and services. So,
So
thank you,
for
Miss Kath.
us,
Yes, Miss Kathy, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that technically GCash is not a payment gateway, but we are a platform where different institutions can definitely onboard with. I guess that's how we're also positioning ourselves. So, for example, like I mentioned, our financial services, right? So, we're not creating all the services on our own, but we are a platform where different financial services can be distributed, such as the savings account, the insurance, and even the loans. We That's also in partnership. While we do have our own credit scoring, but we also partnered with CIMB to help provide more affordable loans to consumers. And if you're talking about payment, we're also integrated with other payment gateway partners to help really make digital payment services more accessible and more convenient to not just consumers or Filipinos in general, but even to businesses themselves.
Yes. So again, thank you very much, Miss Kathleen Pavia, for sharing with us that about GCash app and many of its features, from how this app has been helping local businesses through its platforms and all the other features that makes GCash a daily tool used by Filipinos and local businesses. So if we previously talked about a fintech company offering payment gateways and other services and different platforms, our next panelist will dwell on how logistics play hand in hand with the products and services that we pay for. When we were in lockdown, online purchases became our way to go. I myself am guilty of this. And with that, we have our unsung heroes or frontliners to thank for, from the food delivery riders to our couriers. And when we could not go out, these frontliners brought our needs and wants to us. To give us a clearer picture on how this service provider can be a valuable partner for businesses, let's welcome Mr. Paul Pfiffner, Senior Business Development Manager for Enterprise Accounts of Entrego Philippines.
Hi, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for the invite, Kim. Especially since our crowd is the Ilonggo crowd, so I'm a proud Ilonggo as well. So I'm here actually to discuss basically how logistics has changed, especially during the pandemic period, and how it's helped actually retailers and SMEs and MSMEs grow their business further. And I'd like to give you guys a little output and input on how logistics moved and the services Intrego has actually offered and done for the market alone. No? So yes, so I'd like to show you guys our milestone pitch deck on the services that Intrego has provided our partners and retailers through the past few years. So we'll be discussing a lot about the history and milestone of how Intrego was born, and then the service and features, and the one Intrego that we have. Okay, so Intrego actually started from Zalora in 2016 when Ayala has bought 48% of Zalora Philippines at that time. And in 2017, actually, Zalora decided to actually segregate Intrego with the Ayala group to make it a separate group to deliver and supply basically logistics to all the partners of the Ayala group as well. No? And then during March 18, that's when we officially started Intrigo and we started the operations catering not just to Zalora, but to our other partners in retail as well as the SMEs and different marketplaces and platforms. That being said, we started moving forward and started expanding. And then we started our express delivery in 2018, moving other products and other retailers as well as the marketplaces. And then in 2019, we launched our freight forwarding business, which was a big milestone for us as well. And then in 2020, we launched basically the official Entrego Express Corporation, wherein we started expanding warehouses, and then we actually bought the biggest sorting facility basically in the whole Philippines. So we are proud to say that Intrego actually has the biggest sorting machine in place here in the Philippines, and we're very proud of that because it's actually helped a lot of our partners and our clients move forward with the businesses, especially at this time. No, and then in 2021, we opened an MCX hub, which is currently the home base of Intrego. And this is where we operate most of our warehousing as well as our centralized hub. And then 2022, we'll be launching actually next year, early of next year, we'll be launching our My Intrego mobile app. So it'll be easier for our users to actually book their bookings or their shipments just through one touch of the mobile phone. No? And we're working on that right now, and we should be launching that the first quarter of this coming year. And we also plan on this coming year from the learnings that we've had through the pandemic. We are expanding a lot of the infrastructure of Intrego, as well as digitizing and making it more seamless for a lot of the SMEs and MSMEs to actually use logistics as a easier way to move their products. Now, as we know, I always say that you have three foundations every time that you start a business, no? And I call it PPL, actually, which is your platform, your payments, and your logistics. As long as you have those three foundations, you can pretty much start your small business or your MSME, and you can start moving forward and growing it with that, no? And then if I move to the next slide, the services that we offer currently now are we have a regular pickup to nationwide delivery, and then we have 2 to 3 days guaranteed SLA for express freight, as well as 3 to 5 days guaranteed SLA for an economy freight as well. We also offer our freight forwarding, which has been a very a growth in our business, no, crucial growth in our business when it comes to land freight. We do the air freight, sea freight, and our very most popular mode of transport currently is the Roro. Full container load and a Roro half container load. So we can actually adjust easily to the needs of what the client and the customers want. And then currently, we've also started our contract logistics department and our warehousing, where we can offer ambient storage, temperature controlled storage, cross docking, inbound and outbound, reverse logistics, WMS, bundling, pick and pack, kitting and packing, relabeling and labeling, repackaging, generators ready with 5-level high racking systems, and of course, our state of the art security CCTV and 24 guards on duty. No? Next, please. Can we please move to the next slide, please, Ken? Okay, so we'd also like to discuss what we call our one entrego. So basically, we are very crucial with our experience, the technology, the culture, and our efficiency and sustainability, as a company itself. So for the experience, we have a one-stop shop or E2E logistics requirements that delivers excellent customer service. So we have an in-house customer service wherein we do not outsource our customer service to other companies, and we feel that it's better to have the in-house customer service. So if there is any concern about the packages, it can actually be resolved almost in real time, no. And it's served actually very effective for Entrego because, especially when it comes to the concerns of all the clients, they're quite happy with the turnout of how we've been able to do this, no, in terms of our in-house customer support. And then for our technology as well, we have a one integrated platform to enable all the data-driven decisions to drive innovation. And our culture, basically, our mindset is as one community that shares value to develop a holistic employee experience. And for efficiency, which is very important for us, is one seamless, standardized, and efficient delivery chain to achieve a better delivery of time or SLA. And for the sustainability, 100% compliant in regulatory requirements to be an industry leader in sustainability. So we're very strict with these five pillars that we call our one Entrego. So this is a short background on the view on what Entrego actually has to offer, and we're very happy to actually be able to help and serve a lot of the SMEs, especially for those in the provinces, and hoping we can actually help more businesses in Iloilo grow. Since Iloilo is quite a crucial location for us, especially in logistics, no. And we've seen in the last year the rampant growth that Iloilo had in terms of volume of orders, especially from the distribution of the different platforms from Lazada, Zalora, Shopee, and even with our enterprise retail accounts. We've seen quite a number of growth, especially in the Iloilo area. So one of Entrego's ideas actually moving forward is to actually build more infrastructure concentrated in the Iloilo region. So this is why it's very crucial for us to be able to work with the people and the small businesses in Iloilo to further help them grow. And we're hoping that we can do that, especially with the growth starting 2022. So we just want to see, not just for Metro Manila, but would like to see how the growth can expand in the provinces, especially as the past speakers were saying that, sometimes in the provinces are still a bit more hesitant to try new things and new technology. But rest assured that we're here to actually support those needs in any way possible, and we try to make our services as seamless as possible so that any person actually, regardless of age generation, can access our services. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Paul, for sharing about Entrego Philippines. So, Sir Paul, you a little quite related to your talk kanina, no? Young
Yes.
professionals and younger generations are already familiar with our fintech platforms, but since a part of our population also come from the grassroots level, our boomers or those in the older age bracket, what do you think should businesses do in the perspective of someone who is from logistics?
Well, basically, I think like we've seen, especially with the grassroots, no, there's still a lot. of learnings when it comes to logistics, and like I mentioned earlier, that there's a lot of hesitation, especially like with for the fintechs, no, as Miss Kathleen just mentioned earlier. Um, like for the logistics, based on our experience with the buying market in the provinces, Metro Manila or NCR in general is pretty much very knowledgeable with the fintechs that our country currently offers. So they have been utilizing that fintech. But I think the challenge that we have now basically is because most of our buyers and people availing of our services in the provinces are still very mindset on cash on delivery,
Yes.
COD, which I guess you cannot blame them because, in a way, cash on delivery is a tried, proven, and tested payment solution. No, so it's very simple and it's very familiar. And since we Filipinos are known as siguristas, um, it is a mindset that still needs to be harnessed and actually educated, that our fintech companies actually are a safe and alternative way to actually pay online as well. In fact, I'd like to mention that this was something that I think GCash was brilliant in doing, because currently Intrego is partnered up with GCash for payments. No,
Mhm.
so we are offering this to all everyone that uses Intrego, especially also in the provinces, that they can use GCash to actually pay for their cash on delivery payments. So instead of actually paying for cash, they can just use the GCash QR code, which our delivery riders are equipped with, and they can find a safer way to actually pay for the item, but still using a similar process to COD. And it's actually worked quite well, especially with a lot of our users, and we've seen a change of growth. No, although COD is still the biggest payment, but we're seeing that GCash has actually been able to help, and we've seen that more people are now inclined to use the fintech that we have, right, or the GCash app. Which, that being said, I think it's just a matter of educating the people on letting them know that this is safe, this is secure, and it's easy to use. For me, it's kind of like when we first had the ATM machines, which was long ago. But when the ATM machines first came out, actually people were hesitant to use it because they didn't know, right, how to use it, and they were afraid to take the risks.
Mm.
So you would see that in the banks, people would still go over the counter and still withdraw money from the traditional way. But eventually, you've seen that the ATM machines was a very effective tool currently, and everybody's using it regardless of age. So I think that's the same thing that logistics like Entrego is doing, as well as GCash, wherein we're just educating a lot of the grassroots, especially in the provinces, and letting them know that these are ways of actually moving things more seamless and safer as well for the end user.
Yes. Thank you, Sir Paul. So we've got the answer how fintech and logistics really have played hand in hand. Sir Paul, how can logistics providers help more local businesses or MSMEs grow?
Okay. Basically, we wanna, as logistics, we also like to encourage no the small businesses to actually, we're trying to motivate them to actually starting their small businesses, because many of the small businesses opt to use a lot of the marketplaces that are available now. No, but it's actually, if you look at it, the marketplaces are actually a third party, basically, because they provide the financial solutions, and they have all the logistic networks in place, so you just have to sign up with them. But we've also seen, actually, especially during the time of the start of the pandemic, that a lot of these independent businesses have actually gone directly to the logistics industry because it's actually not difficult. Um, they get the notion that logistics is actually cheaper with the marketplaces than coming to us directly, but that's not the case. And we're encouraging actually the small businesses to come to us directly because we're more than happy to help you guys build an account with us. And it's basically logistics is basically one of the major challenges that a small business has to face when he starts up because you have to move your products from point A to point B, which is very crucial in any business. Um, but we want to make it clear and we want to make it very open to everyone out there that wants to start a business that you don't have to worry about getting a logistics partner um, to help you move your products because you can come actually directly to us, and we're more than happy to help you grow your businesses. And that being said, I think that's what many of not just Entrego but other logistic companies are trying to do because this is the way for small independent businesses to actually grow is if they actually do it themselves. Because yes, if you can join a marketplace, but it's easier, but it also makes a big dent in your profitability. Unlike you going directly to logistics company or going straight to Gcash and availing of it directly. Um, that's how you will actually see and how you can manage your business in growing to substantial growth rather than just depending on what's just out there. And you also get the chance to actually experience um, what your clients want, what your clients need, and basically what direction you should be taking. Moving your business forward. So my advice is, for all those who are interested in opening a business, I mean, you guys can reach us anytime, and we're more than happy to help you guys out. And we're very proud to, as being part of the Ayala Group, we want to see local businesses grow, and we want to see smaller businesses that are not a common name in our industry grow. So we have something else, so that the Filipino market also has something unique that we can be proud of. Because I can tell you, Kim, I mean, I've seen a lot of great innovations created by Filipinos, and I've seen a lot of products out there um, that are amazing. And I'm actually awed to know that there's so much out there in the Philippines, but they just haven't been given that opportunity and their chance to actually grow that business because they don't know where to start. Like for every business you start an SME, yes, the digital front is very important. You can find your own platform. I mean, you have platforms nowadays from Facebook to Shopify, to small platforms wherein you can start your own businesses, and you can just simply integrate with Entrego because Entrego actually we have what we call the API integration, wherein we integrate digitally with the platforms of the SMEs, so that your logistics is actually automated already.
So those were really valuable insights, Sir Paul, especially to our audience today. So thank you very much for discussing this with us and for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Our
It's a very pleasure.
our logistic providers have really been a big blessing, especially during the pandemic. I could not imagine all those sales of our favorite online marketplaces from 1010 to 99 and the upcoming sales as well without the logistics partners. And now let's go to another rising buzzword, which is deep tech. What really is deep tech? And how can deep tech benefit from our local businesses? To give us a clearer understanding of the potential of deep tech, let's welcome our Kasimanwa, Mr. Yev Dulya of Leave a Nest Philippines.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, of course, to our organizers for inviting me to this session. So, as I've been told, I've been tasked to discuss like the role of deep technology startups in boosting local enterprise, especially sa Iloilo. So, before anything else, I'll just give a short introduction about myself. So I'm Yev Zinidulia. You can call me Yev, and I have a BS. I have a bachelor's in chemistry from UP Visayas, and then after that, I worked for a bit at UP Manila as an instructor. Then came to Japan to get my master's and PhD in pharmaceutical sciences. And after kong gumraduate from my PhD, I worked for a while at a business consultancy company. And after that, lumipat ako to my current company, which is Livanest, which I'll be explaining a bit in a while. And after working for around a year in our Japan office, we also established our Philippine office, and I was tasked as the managing director, which was just a few months ago. And also like half, I think before half a year before we started, I was also accepted as a Balik scientist under of the UST under the Philippine Council for Health Research and Development. So I'm doing a science entrepreneurship program with the Philippine Genome Center Visayas. And just to explain a little bit about our company. So my company is called Leave a Nest, and we originally started as a science communication company with a knowledge-based platform. And our vision is advancing science and technology for global happiness. And yung company namin was established around 20 years ago, actually 19 years ago in 2002. And it's based in Tokyo, in Japan. And one unique thing about us is actually lahat kami, we're kind of a big group of researchers. Kasi one unique thing, especially in our Japan office, around half have masters and around half have PhDs, same as me. So lahat talaga we have this research mindset and research experience that also helps in our work. And as you can see, we also are a relatively international company. So as I mentioned, yung office namin, main office is in Tokyo. We also have an Osaka office, and then satellite offices in the UK and US, and then manned subsidiaries in Malaysia, Singapore, and as I mentioned earlier, kaka-open na namin nung Philippine subsidiary namin, headed by me. And at the lower left, you could actually see another unique thing about us is that our divisions are not classified according to yung function. In normal big companies, you would see, diba, business development division, marketing division, advertising division, or something like that. But for us, the divisions are according to, since our vision is we want to contribute to society, our divisions are classified according to the sectors of society that we're dealing with. And very simple lang naman yung ginagawa namin as a whole, but we do a lot of things. And as I mentioned, we started as science communicators, but which is why, as you can see here, the main thing that we do is trying to bridge the gap in knowledge between researchers or scientists and society. And we try to do that in different ways. So to start, like around 20 years ago, our company was basically doing the same kind of thing as a lot of science communication companies or entities are doing right now. But for us, in the years that have passed, this has expanded more into bridging different parts of society that are involved in science and technology. And the result then is this, basically. So we do a lot of things, as I mentioned. From left to right, you can see different parts of society that are involved in S&T. So for education development, we try to help or like support science education and science research until the high school level. And then for human resource development, this is where we try to help or support researchers and young scientists or grad students with their careers by helping, by offering workshops, trainings, and also trying to expose them to science industries. And then for research and development, this is where we try to accelerate R&D in general. So this may be in the form of conferences. We also partner with industries in Japan to offer research grants and similar activities. And then at the right side, yung focus, I guess, for today. So frontier development is where we try to bring yung mga technologies na developed by scientists and researchers into society. So the support that we have for this part is very diverse as well. We have group companies that help with patenting. We also have a venture capital group company that does investments for deep tech startups in general. And then, of course, as a company, we also do other services like helping market research for startups and connecting them to entities that they need help from. So one unique thing, siguro yung sa frontier development, you could say that we are actually an enabler as a company. And very similar yung function namin to accelerators, but one unique difference about us is that we concentrate only on deep technology startups. So for those who are not really familiar with what deep tech startups are, so yung different to other types of startups like financial technology, yung purpose in deep tech startups is kind of different because this when you try to do a deep tech startup, it usually involves a lot of R&D. That's why yung if you notice that one substantial part here in our business model is trying to develop R&D in general because it's very necessary when you try to bring these technologies into society, especially for deep tech startups. And then, as I mentioned, we do support yung mga patenting and stuff like that because for deep tech startups, it's really important to have the intellectual property rights if you want to really run it as a business later on. And then usually it's not just the market value of the tech itself, but also yung value to society is really one very important factor because usually when we say deep tech startups, they are kind of really game-changing technologies that if they can be used in society. And this yung list dito, as you can see, like advanced materials, manufacturing, AI, biotech, blockchain, robotics, photonics, electronics, and quantum computing. These are just a very few of the types of deep tech startups that are in existence. And um, basically anything that requires a lot of R&D, you could say that it's a deep tech startup. And ito sa right, you can see that the reason that not many people venture into this is that it really requires a lot. So oras, effort, money, and extensive knowledge. Because as you can see, yung mga fields na dito, they're very specific then. So this really requires a lot. That's why, and it's not easy. That's why not really a lot of people try to delve into this. But on the other hand, since yung investment mo in order to develop the technology itself, if it's really something that's game changing. So since malaki investment mo, not just as a whole financially, money is just one thing, but if it does kick off eventually, malaki din talaga yung returns. So you really have to be patient with deep tech startups because it takes a lot of time to launch it, to have a viable product itself. Yung prototype usually takes on average years talaga. For example, in my field, in the pharmaceutical sciences field, well, it's relatively also deep tech because it requires a lot of R&D. Just to bring a certain drug into the market takes around 10 to 15 years. And siguro this time with COVID, yung vaccine is a very supposedly a good example, but because of the pandemic, na-accelerate lang siya. And it's a very special case, but usually it takes a very long time. And yeah, so this is one reason how deep tech startups can actually improve yung economy. Like for example, Iloilo, if you have a lot of deep tech startups, right now, siguro immediately it won't contribute. Actually, minus kasi malaki yung expenses. But looking at the future, if you're patient enough to wait for the result, then it's going to be really worth it later on. So yung malaking profits later on is something that you should look forward to. And I also heard like an instance, for example, from a reputable doctor who has also become a deep tech startup founder. Na he also asked other medical doctors to invest in his certain deep tech startup. And then it took a few years, I think around 5 or more than that. But nung binigay yung profit shares to the doctors who invested, they were really surprised kasi sobrang malaki. So because like they were used to investing like in hospitals kasi maliit lang yung yearly na profit sharing for hospitals, for example, mga 500 pesos, mga ganun, 1,000 or like a few thousands. But this time, that surprised yung mga investing doctors because what were given, yung amount that was given back to them just for one time, for the first profit sharing was like hundreds of thousands yung amount. So that's like the scale in difference in when you're trying to do deep tech startups. And another thing, at Livanes din kasi, we have just gone beyond the fact that it requires a lot of R&D. For us, deep technology is also something that has to solve a deep issue. So, well, by the words themselves, when you say deep issue, it's not just the overlying on the surface issue. You have to really dig deep to know the source of these different issues, diba? And in that sense, it could also solve other um, branching issues as well. So if we try to think of it in the way that it really has to solve an issue, um, there are two good things about this. So at the middle, you could see that usually if an issue is still there, meaning wala pang solution, diba? So you're really trying to find a solution for something that has no solution yet, and that is really, really something new and very unique. So in business terms, ito yung tawag na blue ocean strategy, where you try to, look for something na wala pa talaga. It's called blue ocean kasi yung blue ocean is very vast, diba? And kapag lalangoy ka dyan, hindi mo alam kung saan ka magpunta. So it's kind of risky in the sense that you don't know what you'll find, but if you find something, it's really the jackpot. So in that sense, market-wise, sobrang unique, and solo mo talaga yung market if you do develop something good. And then on the right side, also the reason that we have thought of na kailangan it could solve an issue. Of course, we want to contribute to society. That's one thing. But then on the business aspect, if there's an issue, obviously there's a need for it, right? And if there's a need, it means that there's a market. And if there's a market, it translates to a business. So again, if you make sure that your tech solves an issue, then sure enough, later on, may business ka talagang makukuha. So yeah, so even with just these two things, uniqueness, because that it's solving an issue that does not have a solution yet. And then again, if it's solving an issue, it translates directly to a business. These are just two reasons why deep technology startups will be very profitable. But then again, let me just go back. It takes time, takes effort and patience. Actually, patience talaga yung key dito, because I think for Filipinos, usually we kind of want fast money, which is, I think, very sayang din. That's why, like, scientists like me usually lumalabas ng country, and the technologies that they develop are very good, but then hindi na recognize ng country natin, and it's just being used by other countries, and sila yung nagpa-profit. So medyo sayang din. And if these deep tech startups, I'm sure our co-host Kwadra also has a lot of deep tech startups, which I think are very have really good potential. And for Iloilo, I think, as an Ilonggo myself, I really want that our the whole region will be a deep technology hub, because I think it's the only way to go, both in solving the issues that we have and also trying to increase the economy of, or like develop the economy of the region. So yeah, I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Yev, for discussing with us about deep tech and about Lebanest Philippines. The pandemic really caught us all off guard, but we also see a light at the end of the tunnel. Aside from the vaccination rollout, the service providers from fintech, logistics, e commerce, these are all playing a big role in helping us move closer to economic recovery while promoting digital inclusion. Now let's get to know some Ilonggo initiatives that are taking on the challenge. To present ISATU Kwadra's pioneer batch of startups and spin-off incubatees, let us welcome Mr. Rayjan Heliamucho, General Manager of ISATU Kwadra TBI.
Thank you, Kim. Good afternoon. Mayong hapon, everyone. We're very proud to present and introduce the pioneer batch of ISATU Kwadra TBI startup and spin-off incubatees. These early-stage startups and university spin-offs went through a 5-day bootcamp that culminated in a pitch presentation. Through the bootcamp, our incubatees were taught on refining their problem fit and business models, and were provided constructive feedback by the panel of experts and mentors for their business improvement. In the coming days, we'll be formalizing the incubation at ISATU Quadra TBI, on board additional consultants and mentors, and we will be launching more programs and initiatives to assist and support these incubatees for their investment readiness and acceleration. We will also soon open our call for application for our next cohort of incubatees. Again, the ISATU Kwadra TBI Pioneer, Startup, and Spin-off Incubatees.
Hi, my name is Wilfredo C. Jr. I am the CEO and founder of Workable Spaces Corporation. Workable Spaces Corporation is a startup based on an architectural design firm focused mainly on maximizing efficiency of space through modular design. One of the eureka moments for our inspiration was during the pandemic period where people stayed in houses. We looked at using space, maximizing space. So different spaces can be used for uh, multiple uses. For example, your living space can be your dining space and also can be your sleeping space. This coming November, we are finishing our office and model space, so we can showcase how we can make use of modular design in terms of maximizing efficiency of spaces. For our office, we will be hiring local workers, carpenters, training them for electronics, use of smart house, steelworks. Also, at the same time, we will be giving the chance to offer quality homes at lower cost and multiple use spaces.
Hi, my name is Noreen Bautista. I'm the startup founder of Panublix. So Panublix is a textile sourcing platform. We connect designers with tropical textiles and artisan craft, co-created with nature and cultural heritage, or panublion. Panublix comes from the Hiligaynon word panublion, which it means heritage. So it's always been our passion to promote our Philippine heritage, especially here in Iloilo, which used to be known as the textile capital of the Philippines. So our vision in Panublix is to build a thriving tropical textile industry in the Philippines by 2030. So this is through marketing our sustainable tropical yarns and textiles made from cotton, abaca, and pineapple, so we can really transition our fashion industry away from fossil fueled fibers like polyester. So at Panublix, we really started this because of our weavers. We wanted to connect designers to source directly from weavers, but because they are based in the rural areas, there's also a digital gap. Therefore, we really want to create this bridge so we can onboard our weavers on the digital economy. We have a program called the Panublix Weaving Enterprise Digital Enabler, or PWEDE for short, which means possible in Filipino. Through this, it's a holistic program that onboards weavers and rural artisans, even farmers in the fiber industry, to be part of the digital economy.
Andy Pagbanwa, one of the startup founder for Bakalokal. Our startup Bakalokal aims to help MSMEs bounce back from the COVID-19 pandemic, fall back in the economic activity. And this startup aims also to provide guidance and direction to those MSMEs who wanted to scale up their businesses, particularly into the digital transformation. Bakalokal started during this pandemic because this is a pandemic response project. It started because we had MSMEs or our merchants from the Bakalokal who actually lost their source of living during this pandemic. And because of the lack of physical contact, we need to make sure that there's an avenue for them to be able to deliver the goods and services that we are promoting at this point. Hence, the birth of Bakalokal e-commerce platform, and now we are trying to move forward to the next step. In the next coming weeks, we will be launching the Bakalokal mobile app, and at the same time, we will be launching two major projects. One is our Innovation Talk. It will be about a talk or an open conversation online regarding the technologies and the emerging technologies here in Iloilo and also in the province and globally. At the same time, we could also look forward into us having our MSME and Startup Acceleration Program geared towards giving direction and providing assistance to our MSMEs and services that they need in order for them to scale up their business and improve their businesses. First and foremost, Bakalokal started as an e-commerce platform. That's why we advocate for the use of digital platform for us to be able not to be limited by physical activity in continuing economic growth and economic activity within the region. At the same time, in Bakalokal, we do promote as well use of digital currency, and right now we are very proud and we are very honored to be part of the Smart City project championing for digital smart economy.
Hi, I'm Vida Aurora C, startup founder for Views Technology Solutions. Views Technology Solutions Inc. is a tech-based startup that aims to maximize digital tools for digital storytelling and advocacy-based marketing. Our first product is Panay360.ph, a web-based platform that showcases 360-degree virtual tours of different properties, establishments, and retail stores in Panay Island and Guimaras. Even before the pandemic, we have already seen and come across a lot of websites that showcases 360-degree virtual tours or optimizes 360 photography as a marketing tool. So we've thought that it would be a waste of that technology if we could not apply it here and use it to boost local economy. So during the pandemic, that realization or that eureka moment became stronger as we saw the potential of 360-degree photography as a mainstream marketing tool to help our local enterprises and property owners to bounce back from the effects of the pandemic. We are set for soft launch this coming December of this year, and for next year we will be expanding our coverage with one province per quarter so that we will be all encompassing all over Panay by the end of 2022. At the same time, we will also be launching our supplementary products or our branch products that still maximizes the same technology for other applications and for other industries. With Panay360.ph, we aim to provide our local business owners and property owners an immersive and engaging marketing material so that they can promote their businesses and properties to a bigger market.
Hi, I am Eljan and I am the co-founder of Cleverly. So basically, Cleverly is a mobile app where teachers, students, and even parents can access, where they can collaborate, interact, or communicate with each other in just one platform. And also, because Cleverly is so clever, students can use our platform even if they are offline. So I was just scrolling the internet when I saw a lot of students posting on social media, complaining about their studies. And then I remember that I already experienced this kind of problem back then, but it's just getting worse when pandemic hits. So that's the moment when I started to realize that this is the perfect time to solve these issues or to address this problem. So that's basically where it all started, and the rest is history. We will launch our first version of Cleverly app in the first quarter of 2022, and we will slowly expand to our neighborhood regions here in Mindanao. So, as I said before, Cleverly is accessible even offline, so we can really help every public schools in the Philippines.
A great day to all. TechnoPH is co-founded together by Giovanni Araque, Arya Lastica, John Eric Taiko, Rutherford Mamibe, and yours truly, Nico Guarnes. Thriftify is a fleet management services and application company that caters to modern jeepney drivers and its associations in the integration of ICT solutions for better mobility. The Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Innovation for Public Transport competition in 2021 sparked an interest in facing the traffic congestion problem in the Philippines. In general, the public can experience faster, reliable, and safer commuting experience while our technology does its wonders in the background. We promote digital inclusion by developing user-friendly information and communications technology tools and platforms to promote industry, innovation, and infrastructure to help attain sustainable cities and communities and to achieve partnership for goals which are responsive to the Sustainable Development Goals of UN.
Hi, I'm Brian Zara, one of the startup founders, Gnosis IT Solutions. Gnosis is an innovative digital solutions provider that helps companies boost their productivity and make them future ready. Open to provide close coordination and support services to government agencies, nonprofit organizations, and private businesses. We believe in the digitalization of office processes for efficient, secure, and reliable public service delivery and continuity. Furthermore, Gnosis aims to empower local government units and government agencies to work smarter, better, and faster by offering sustainable needs-specific technologies. Even before the pandemic, we've already developed several digital applications to streamline office systems as we projected the arrival of the Fourth Industrial Revolution or the Industry 4.0 in the country. Our speculation was confirmed as the demand for online systems increased during the outbreak. We're focused on reaching our target audiences and upgrading our technologies to meet the demands of the market. We'll be rolling our first batch of applications early next year. Companies will be able to provide efficient, secure, and reliable public service delivery and continuity. We're aiming for faster transactions without compromising reliability and security. These digital systems will close the gap between agencies and the general public.
Hi, I'm Romel Junpaiba, startup founder and biz dev for Inside Crypto Trading Bot. Describing our startup is that we want to make crypto trading accessible and profitable for everyone. And we want to achieve this by creating a trading bot that will automatically buy and sell for the users on the Binance trading platform. We were inspired to create a trading bot due to our own experiences of losing opportunities, money, and peace of mind when we were trading manually in multiple cryptocurrency exchange platforms. And it was also because, well, we had a difficult time sustaining our efforts by doing it manually and getting carried away by our emotions. We are currently developing our subscription module and adding a new feature such as improved trading strategies aimed towards more experienced users who are more aware of the risks and are able to capitalize more and increase their profits while using the trading bot. When we are finished with these modules, we might have a soft launch, so stay tuned and look forward to it.
We are Workable Spaces Corporation, ISATU Kwadra Startup Incubate.
So this is Panublix, ESATU Kwadra Startup Incubating.
Bakalokal, ESATU Kwadra Startup Incubate.
We're from Panay360.ph by Views Technology Solutions and ESATU Kwadra Startup Incubating.
Cleverly, ISATU Kwadra Startup Incubating.
Gnosis IT Solutions, ISATU Kwadra Startup Incubating.
This is Romel Junpaiba, biz dev for Inside Crypto and ISATU Kwadra Startup Incubating.
Have you guys ever experienced driving on the road that you have a trouble on your car? This is the solution. We have the Mirador, a startup company that will provide supply and stakeholder of a variety of special service tools like hydraulic breathing gadget and valve spring compressor with efficient repair, outdated dilapidated maintenance items include motor vehicle inspection system prior for testing and LTO accredited MBIS center.
So good morning everyone. I am Rene Saranda, the inventor together with my co-inventor, Dr. Nemia Babaquiao, Dr. Pablo Minerva, Engineer Sumel Cadenas, Mr. Enrique Lamrino of Iloilo Science and Technology University. Our invention name, toroid core tungsten inert gas welding machine, shielded metal arc welding machine. The problem, technology problem, is solving for the following. Number one, the power consumption. You know that the welding activities consume bigger powers during welding mode. So that is a big problem. And then another problem, as of today, we have some electronics module that it may not stay long because electronics sometimes it may last up to 10 years. And then sometimes we have a temperature. There are welding machines that do not resist for longer or full welding, such as using stick welding, or that may cause overheating. So the problem, we have three problems that we could solve in this invention.
Good morning, everyone. Actually, I'm sharing this was my first research when I joined the ISAT University. I'm a chemist by profession and I'm a senior faculty researcher of the university. This is a production technology for GAGs, for glycosaminoglycans. So I extract the bioactive glycosaminoglycans from the silver-binded whiting, or we call this in Iloilo as the asuos. I don't know if you are very familiar in Manila, but usually this can be found in the waters of Visayas and Palawan. So the marine glycosaminoglycan functionality, it has really lots of physiological functions. It can be a cure for cancer. It is anti-thrombotic. It is anti-inflammatory, antiviral, anti-malarial, anticoagulant, and its most use is in the cellular growth modulation. That's why it is very good in incorporation in cosmetics and other skin products.
So our product and services. So rice packaging, packaging paper, packaging layouting and design, primary packaging for dry commodities, and secondary packaging.
INSEC is a physics instrumentation startup company. It focuses on designing and producing reliable yet affordable physics instruments. Originally, this was funded by DOST research grant way back in 1995. And our prayer is that please support us to advance locally manufactured physics instruments to deliver quality physics education, creating opportunity for local investment.
Thank you very much. So I will be presenting the Raj Consultancy. Raj Consultancy is an engineering and science-based solution that offers design, consultancy, and other services. So we have here the contact number, the email address, and then the address of the office. Raj Consultancy offers the following engineering system design and services, like electronic circuits and system, mechanical system, electrical circuit and system, and other related systems. Consultancy services offered energy audit, standard manufacturing processes, solar PV system and other renewable energy system, and other related services.
So pag-manage ng isang hydroponic system. Yung kumpanya na nakapokus sa design and development of control and management system for hydroponics.
Good afternoon to everyone. So the food sector of the Iloilo Science and Technology University, located at Puerto Street, La Paz, Iloilo City, is known as Isoy Foods. So Isoy Foods emphasizes the healthy choice of food production. So for this afternoon, I will be introducing to you one of our products, which is banana flour.
Very interesting and promising ventures, Gid. I myself am looking forward to seeing how these ventures will grow under the ISAT-U Kwadra TBI program. And of course, we would love to see more and more innovative ventures being born here in Iloilo. To wrap up our event, we have with us Dr. Carlos Sira, ISATU Kwadra TBI Project Leader.
Maayong adlaw sa tanan. In behalf of the entire ISATU community and the Kwadra TBI team, I would like to thank our speakers for gracing our event with your presence and for sharing your insights and experiences with us. Surely, our participants, especially our local startups and spin-offs, have learned a lot. And I would like also to thank the Philippine Startup Week 2021 organizing team for giving us the opportunity to host. And we at Iloilo no, uh, are blessed, with lots of visionaries and movers. And we at ISATU Kwadra TBI are excited to host and to support more and more of these activities, the startups and spin-offs activities. And we also invite you to be part of their growth. So our attendees, thank you so much. And we hope to see you in our future activities. Saliwat, maayong adlaw sa tanan.
Thank you very much, Dr. Carlos Sira, for your closing remarks. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for spending your Tuesday afternoon with us. Stay tuned for ISATU Kwadra TBI's future projects and initiatives by checking us out in Facebook and Instagram. From all of us here at ISATU Kwadra, madamo gid nga salamat.